Bladesmiths, welcome to the Forge. Gentlemen, in this first round of Greek mythology-inspired competition, we're going to give you 3 hours to forge signature blades in your signature style using a Go Mai or 5-layer technique using these gifts from the god Hephaestus, the weaponsmith of the gods. This armor, these hammers, lightning bolts, and these medallions must be used. Some of this is high carbon steel, some of it's mild steel. It's up to you to determine what's what. Good luck, gentlemen. Your 3 hours starts now.
So the hammer seems like it's some degree hardenable. I tested the lightning bolts, and they seem really good, but I just don't have a lot of that steel. I'm trying to weigh all this in my mind as far as what do I go for?
I'm still very much in preliminary stage, kind of figuring out how I'm going to attack this.
I'm taking some steel and I'm going to quench it in the oil. Then I put it in the ice and then hit it with my hammer. If it's not high carbon steel, it's going to fold or it's going to bend, it's going to roll. Whereas if the steel hardens and you hit it with a hammer while it's in that vise, it's going to snap and give you a look at the grain on the inside.
The quench and snap to check the steel is more thorough, but the spark test is a lot faster.
It's a challenge, definitely figuring out what I'm doing here. I'm still trying to come up with my game plan.
I want to use the hammer for the core of the knife.
Dave's out there cutting up a hammerhead. Good for him.
It's a lot of mass, so I should be able to draw it out and get the main body of the knife. And then basically doing like a double sanmai or taco technique. Take the lightning bolt, bend it around the spine, get that to forge weld, then take the mild steel and wrap it around the back of that, and then forge weld it, giving me 5 layers.
You have only 2 hours remaining to finish your work.
The clock is ticking, and I'm having a hard time picking out what I'm going to do. I didn't think I'd be this indecisive, but there's a lot on the line.
Robert's spending a lot of time with his setup. I'm hoping he's setting himself up for success.
I need to make a decision, and I need to do it quick. So I decided to go hammer in the center, medallions on the outside of that, and then I've got my lightning bolts. I'm going to weld all these together and hope for the best.
I tested both the hammer and then the lightning bolt. They both were hardened. The armor, for me, it just bent over when I tried to harden it.
I decided I'm going to go with the hammer in the middle, the lightning bolts on the side, and the armor on the side of that. I'm going to tack weld all this stuff together and then cut it with the saw and cut all the overhang off to where I've got a solid billet.
The most important thing is to have a hardenable steel in the middle. That way you get a strong edge. It looks like all of our smiths have done that.
What I decided to do was I cut 2 small rectangles of armor, tack welded them to the blade, and then brought the knife up to forge weld temperature and very, very gently set the weld.
Next step is draw that billet out, and then I'm going to start forming it into a knife.
It does look good. He's done a good job lining everything up. All right, Robert, it's time to draw that billet out.
I was kind of indecisive in the beginning, and I wasted a little bit of time, and I feel that's really biting me in the ass right now.
At this point, with the time that I've got left, it's Big Blue time.
You still got to quench that and then get to the grinder and then into the acid etch.
If you think you can't make a knife in half an hour, you can if you got Big Blue.
My blade's straight, tang straight. I'm ready to quench it.
Oh, quench. I think he's got a good straight blade.
I look, it's perfectly straight, it's good.
It looks like Jared has like the most complete and performance-built blade.
Now it's game time. I got to get on the grinder and get the thing cleaned up.
I finished shaping as best as I can.
How lean that blade is that Dave's got. You gotta make sure he doesn't grind off that thin layer of armor on the outside.
Only got like 12 minutes left. I need to get this blade heat treated.
Oh, man, that sucker is hot.
Big fireball, almost lose the beard.
Woo!
It's still here though, so that's good.
My plan is to get something done that meets the parameters before that clock hits 0.
Good quench.
I don't hear any pings. The welds seem like they did okay. So I've got to go straight to the grinder. I start shaving material off.
25 seconds!
Now I've got to etch this thing. It is right down to the wire.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bladesmith, shut down your machines, drop your tools. This first round of competition is over.
All right, gentlemen, it's time for the strength test, the Greek armor stab. We're not screwing around today, so I'm definitely putting on a glove. Now, this test is not about what your blades do to that armor. It's about what the armor does to your blades. Now, Robert, you're up first. You ready?
Yes, sir.
These edges aren't rolled over at all. They're a hard angle as opposed to being rounded over. I mean, there's a dent in my thumb, and anything that comes in contact with the hand really should be rounded off. No, you've got a good edge everywhere but right here, which took most of the impact when I chopped into that armor. But here's the neat thing. Your tip is still as sharp as it was. Your knife's solid, it's all together. Good job.
Thank you.
Jared, you're up next. You ready?
Yes, sir.
First off, you've got a super aggressive point on this, which is still sharp and still there. So your edge held up beautifully. It's still solid, it's in one piece. I think you did a good job.
Thank you.
All right, Dave, it's up to you. You ready?
No, but let's do it.
Okay.
Really worried right now. Essentially, it turned into be just a mess of scraps that I was able to slam together to roughly resemble a handle just to get something done in time.
Just run your finger right there.
Hey, dude, you finished it and put it on the anvil. Good job.
Thanks, man. As soon as Dave picked up the knife, started walking towards the other judges, I know this is just not good. I'm hoping that they're going to test it so I can at least, see what my blade's made of. But at this point, I'm not sure.
Dave, there's a problem. Unfortunately, your guard is actually cutting the leather glove that Dave was going to use for safety. And the judges have given your weapon a vote of no confidence. And we cannot continue to test a blade that is deemed unsafe to the user. For that reason, I'm going to invite you to shake our hands and then exit the forge. Come on forward, my friend. Thank you.
Not the Forge and Fire champion, but I'm still gonna keep pursuing my craft. It's what I love to do, and I'm only gonna get better with time. Wish I would've got to see the judges test the weapon, but I understand safety comes first. Famous last words, 5 more minutes.
Robert, Jared, congratulations. You boys have made it into the final round of this Greek mythology-inspired competition. Now, when you came here, we had you make signature blades in your signature style. That's not going to happen at home. Instead, you'll be making this weapon from Greek mythology. The Sword of Perseus.
All right.
We'll see you in 4 days.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Go get it. Hurry. She's a camera hog right there. It's day 1. I'm getting ready to start making the Sword of Perseus. Never made a sword before, and now first one I'm making is a sword from a god, basically. So I'm gonna have to do my best to please the Greek gods. I'm going with the 80 CRV2. It's a good steel, it's tough, it holds a good edge. My main goal today is to get this thing forged to shape. For me, the most difficult part of forging the sword is getting the curves and the hourglass shape to it. I'm already getting kind of thin in the belly up here where I need it. So I'm kind of trying to avoid having to get the blade too thin. Taking a little longer than I'm wanting, but it's still going good.
It's day 1. I'm back in my home forge in Middleburg, New York. I'm getting ready to start in the Sword of Perseus. It's gonna be a tricky sword to forge out for sure. I'm gonna try to make my blade Out of Damascus, I've got 1084, I've got 15 and 20. I want to do a twisted Damascus and then cut that in half and sandwich it around some solid 1084. And when I grind down my edge profile, the edge will show the 1084 when it's etched, and I think could really, really look pretty neat.
The only time I've ever done twisted Damascus was with 2 people. We'll see how this goes doing it with 1 person. No, there's no way. I'm not even gonna bother with twisting. I'm just gonna go for a random pattern Damascus, start working this billet, cut it, restack it, and forge weld again.
Go get it. Today, I'd like to get the blade profiled a little better, heat treat it, and start working on the guard. So I'm getting ready to quench. As I heat the sword up for the quench, I've never done one this big, especially in my forge like this. It's a lot smaller, so I'm had to kind of go back and forth and move it in and out and get an even heat.
Barely got the whole edge in there. Yes, good.
I'll take it. The heat treat's done. I'm gonna start working on the guard. I'm gonna use a Damascus just because I want to do something a little different. There we go. And I wanted to basically make things harder on myself.
Day 2, I got my billet with my 1084 core, and we're heading in the forge.
The big thing today is going to be profiling my blade, getting everything forged out. I need to keep on schedule, and I need to get the heat treat today. I'm moving a ton of steel. I'm going from the press, I'm going to the anvil, and then bam.
My press is down.
It is going to put me really, really behind. I don't know what I'm going to do.
Yeah, I got nothing. It's all arm from here on out. The tang took a bit of time to get drawn out. Not having that press is costing me precious time. It's going to be a fight to the finish.
Last day, I gotta get this thing finished up. I'm planning on starting off with the guard, getting that thing done, then start working on that disc pommel, and then the handle. The pommel's attached now, the horseshoe guards are attached. I gotta fit the wood basically in between the two. I wish I would have left the pommel off and done the wood first and then welded it on, but it's too late, and I just gotta kind of squeeze the stuff in there. It feels good to me. It's light, it feels pretty balanced. I feel good about my sword. It's a home run. Hopefully it's enough to where I can win the game. Girls, what do y'all think of Daddy's sword?
It will kill. It will kill.
You gotta say that.
It will kill.
This started day 4. Yesterday, the heat treat came out perfect. Yes. But I got a mountain of work to do. I'm exhausted. My back is killing me. My arm is sore. And I'm really just wishing that my press was working. I'm behind schedule, and I got a lot of makeup to do today.
Handle assembly went great. I've got my pins in, but it's a heavy sword, so the rest of my time is gonna be hogging more material off. My arms feel like they're about ready to fall off. Pattern looks amazing. My only regret is that I couldn't get more weight off of it.
All right, bladesmiths, welcome to the kill test. Now, in Greek mythology, Perseus used his sword to decapitate Medusa and remove her head from her body to use it as a weapon. To that end, I will take your weapon and help me deliver some killing slashes and blows to liberate her head from her body. Robert, you're up first. You ready for this?
Yes, sir.
All right, Robert, let's talk about your sword here. I like the design that you have of the Damascus. in there, but it's so heavy. It's about 5 pounds over here. But the thing is, it's so forward heavy. Most of the weight's up here. When I'm lifting this, I can feel all the stress right there. This is supposed to be meant to be a single-handed use weapon. Now, your edge is plenty sharp. It was easy to thrust and cut, and it will kill. All right, Jared, your turn. You ready, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, Jared. First up, you nailed the balance on this. As a one-handed sword, it's about 3 pounds lighter than your opponent's. Your edge is razor sharp. Every slash is deep. The thrust, no issues at all. And most importantly, sir, it will kill.
All right, bladesmiths, we took Medusa's head during the kill test. Now the Kraken's turned to stone. So what I'm gonna do is take your swords and beat them mercilessly into these stone Kraken heads. It's gonna be brutal. And Rob, you're up first. How you feeling?
A little nervous, but I'm ready.
You okay?
Yep, bounced off the glove, didn't cut me.
Oh, what's that? My blade breaks, my heart breaks, but I am just so glad that it didn't hurt Jay.
Oh, a little bit of a problem here, Rob. On the tang, you can see a black spot, so it means you had a stress fracture there. And with the weight of this sword hitting those stone Kraken skulls, it was enough to allow that stress fracture to just continue all the way across. So the good part is that your edge held up, so good job on the Damascus, but it's kind of hard to swing a sword without a handle on it.
Jared, your blade still has to survive 4 strikes. Jay, let's get crack-a-lackin'. Jared, your blade survived. Robert, unfortunately, your blade cannot continue to be tested in this competition, and for that reason, I have to ask you to please leave the forge. Come on forward, my friend. You killed the Medusa, though.
It really sucks that it broke, but this whole experience has been great. And I'm just gonna keep moving forward. I'm just gonna keep getting better at what I do. It's a heartbreaker, but I'm really proud of what I did.
Jared, congratulations. The strength of your weapon has ensured that you are the Forged and Fire champion, leaving this forge with a check for $10,000. Good job, brother.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
How you feeling right now?
Good.
How about a smile or something?
Yeah.
All right, come on over and shake our hands, brother. Good
Thank
job,
you.
man. Good
Thank you.
job.
I am the new Forged and Fire champion. Something I never thought I'd say. I can't wait to get home, give my daughters the news, and take the 10 grand, take my family on a vacation somewhere.
Bladesmiths, welcome to the Forge. In this first round of competition, there will be no signature blades in your signature style. I'm not even going to tell you what the weapons tests are. Instead, I'm going to ask you to go ahead and lift the cloths off your anvils. What you see on your anvil is a pristine piece of 1095 high carbon steel that you will have to use to make one of these. What is it? I'm not going to tell you. Get ready for a hell of a ride. Your 2 hours starts now.
John's got the right idea. Going sideways up Big Blue. So just stretch that steel wide, get that 3 inches in.
Big Blue has fullering dies on one side. Fullering dies move the metal to the side instead of forward, so I can get the width and the thickness I need for the finished blade.
I am making a big, wide, crazy spearhead of some sort. They wouldn't tell us the name, but it looks cool. The biggest challenge is moving this giant piece of steel.
As a bit of a purist, I really like the idea of doing 100% hand-hammered work. But after seeing how little it's going to move for me under my sledgehammer, I've realized that my only option is to bring some power tools into the equation.
All right.
All right, nice to see that Chris has discovered the power tool.
Yeah, Chris is already tired, I think.
Saw the light.
I'm gonna finish my forging, and I'll start working on the rough grinding.
My goal here today is to have fun, and winning is fun, so I'm planning to have a lot of fun.
I like to design my weapons for their intended purpose, but not knowing that, I think it's really going to motivate me to just make an all-around badass weapon.
Man, that blade's starting to look really, really nice.
And it's got that right shape to it.
One way I'm able to continue drawing out the steel towards the sides is by using the hand hammer to do my bevels, so I don't have as much grinding to do.
Meanwhile, John running away with the competition.
At this point, I'm feeling pretty good. My blade is where I want it to be, but I gotta add these notches to the pointy blade thingy.
Are we making a spear today? Is this a spear? Is it a hunting implement?
That's the fun part of this challenge. We know, they don't know.
Just make what you see there.
I want to make sure I have the same spacing as the piece that the judges had.
I just don't want to go home missing a parameter. So I'm going to take advantage of the sample weapon so I can make mine as exact as I possibly can in the time I'm allowed.
I am completely lost as to what these notches are for, but I'm going and making them rounded so that I avoid any stress points in my blade. Time for my heat treat.
I still think Ted's blade is on the thin side.
Going for the quench.
Wait, there we go. All right, Ted, just quench.
Pull it out, and it's straight, and I'm all happy with that.
I feel really good about my spear point, or whatever they want to call it. I got to get the heat treat done, and I'll be set. I'm trying to stay one step ahead of any problems that I see coming up.
John's cutting out 2 pieces of angle iron so he can clamp his blade in there after he quenches. And John just quenched.
I'm pulling out, everything looks good, but I know that it can warp while it's finishing hard. So I throw it into the jig just to make sure everything's perfect.
Textbook. Everything he does.
Yeah.
I don't have much time left. I need to quench.
That tip is red hot.
Pressure is just beating down on me at this point, but I'm gonna get this blade done.
Beautiful.
This blade is hard. I am just awash with joy and relief.
3, 2, 1. Bladesmith, shut down your machines, drop your tools. This first round of competition is over.
Yeah!
All right, gentlemen, it's time for the strength test. I know you've been waiting a while to find out what this will be. Well, the wait's over. Now, to test the strength and overall construction of your weapons, I will be throwing them into our covered wagon over here. It's okay, Chris. It'll be fine. Now, this test isn't really about whether your weapons stick into the target or not. It's how they hold up that's important, all right? Chris, you're up first. Are you ready?
Yes, sir, I am. Let's do this. My war club is going to be thrown at a solid wall of wood planking. I am feeling scared to death right at this moment.
All right, Chris, this thing is definitely solid, I'll tell you that much. But there's a lot of mass to it. The handle, I can just touch those fingers together. But as far as a strength test goes, your blade is still as sharp as when we started. It's still locked in and tight. It's strong. held together. Good job.
Sir.
John, you're up next.
Okay. I'm really nervous about this war club. I'm worried that the fit isn't tight enough and the glue's not strong enough. The club could come apart, the blade could break. There's just a number of things that can go wrong at this point.
All right, John, very solid. You got some good bling on there. That's a good looking piece. But it's a little hard to range this weapon in. I mean, that handle is pretty big. Having said that, if you got hit in the chest with this thing that was flying at you, whether the blade hits you or not, you're going down. Still a perfectly effective weapon, whether I can get it ranged in or not. But as far as the strength test goes, everything's still right, tight, solid. Good job.
Thank you.
All right, Ted, you're up. Ready for this?
Let's do it. With my weapon, I'm definitely concerned about when it hits the wagon, something breaking, cracking. Man, I can't watch that. That's horrific.
Gentlemen, before we began the last round, I told you that the parameters were the absolute minimum standard that your weapon had to meet to even be looked at by the judges, let alone tested. Ted, the back of the head of your war club was supposed to fall between 7 and 9 inches. You are a 1/4 inch short, and therefore your weapon cannot be tested and you cannot be the Forged and Fire champion. However, we would like to commend your performance here. Please shake our hands, then shake your competitors' hands and exit the Forge. You did great work, my friend.
Thanks, Paul.
I had no idea that I'd come up short on the parameters.
Good fight, man. Keep your head up. Thank you.
I should have double-checked. I got careless, and that's what's sending me home. This has been an amazing experience, and it's been an incredible honor to be here.
Chris, John, congratulations. You guys have made it into the 3rd round of this competition. Now we're sending you back to your home forges to recreate this iconic weapon from American history. General Patton's Saber. Good luck. We'll see you in 4 days.
Come on, come on. Today, I'm gonna build the actual blade part of the saber. I'm making a ladder pattern Damascus billet. I'm stacking 1085 and 15N20. So ladder pattern Damascus, it's a simple pattern. I'm gonna weld it, put some layers into it, and then cut it with the chop saw and then draw it out. This is a large blade, and there can be a lot of things that go wrong with this much forging. So I'm not comfortable putting all my eggs just in that one billet. So my plan is to make a 5160 billet. So I have insurance that I'll have a good blade for this build. I got lots of eggs. I got tons of eggs, and you guys need some eggs. Anybody want eggs?
Today, I hope to get the blade quenched, so I need to get this fire going. I've picked up a little bit of a curve in this thing. I do notice that it's not an exact even heat up in the fire. There's more heat towards either end than in the middle. I don't want to waste too much more time chasing it out. There's always a chance that a lot of it will come back out once I dip it in the quench. I believe my blade has gotten hot enough. I am ready to quench. While my blade was heating up, it wasn't an exact even heat up in the fire, so I do still have a fairly significant S-curve warp to it. So I quickly throw it between a couple of big chunks of wood to see if I can address the warp. If this doesn't work, I'm screwed. Okay. I've got a very, very slight warble right towards the end, but I'm positive I could take it out with the grinder, so we might be in good shape. Feel pretty good about that. I think I'm getting very slightly soft, close to the hilt. Rather than go through the quench process again, I think I'm just gonna go with it, keep my fingers crossed, and pray to the gods.
This morning, I'll figure out which blade is going to be worthy of going forward. I really want the Damascus to be my sword. So I start grinding on it, and right away, I start seeing some delaminations. In this edge here, they want to fall apart. I'm gonna scrap the Damascus, save it for the back strap, and move on to the 5160 and make that my blade. I'm not gonna take a risk with $10,000 on the line. I go to the forge, get it hot, and I go in the quench tank. When I pull this knife out of the oil, I have a nice, straight sword.
It's the morning of day 4. I think I've got myself set up really well for a final day of construction and refinement. Once I have my wood block shaped for my handle, I start figuring out how I'm going to try to make this back strap. Got this old, kind of cool looking spoon of unknown metal. I think it's some sort of steel plated in some sort of other metal. But it looks cool, and I'm going to beat and bash and bend it until it fits around the back of my handle. All right, I get it glued up to the rest of the sword. Now, once my epoxy sets, it's gonna be time to moving on to sharpening. So this blade is sharp as a razor, and it's ready for testing. It will cut.
Today, I gotta put everything together, put the final edge on the sword, and test it. So it's time to get the guard started. So we'll go up to the plasma cutter, and we cut out a piece of sheet metal that's gonna become our guard. I'm a horseshoer. We have horses. Put a horse on it. Horse head for the cavalry sword. This is my version of the cowboy's cavalry sword. Say that twice. I'm gonna acid etch the guard black, and I'm gonna put some enamel over the top just to preserve it. And then line the inside of the guard with pig leather. So I'll make sure it's nice and comfy for their hands. I finish assembling the sword just with enough daylight to be able to test it. This is whiskey. Hey, it worked. I'm finished building this crazy sword, and why not go out with a bang? America!
Welcome to the kill test. Your sabers look deadly. To find it out, I will take your weapon, deliver some slashes and thrusts on this ballistic stump. John, you're up first. You ready for this?
Yeah. Cut its heart out. It's just not right.
All right, John, first up, let's talk about the handle construction. It's a little bit on the big side, but I'm able to hold on to it. Now, your edge. It's very sharp. And it is a pleasure to wield because aside from looking beautiful, it will kill.
Thank you very much.
All right, Chris, your turn. Are you ready, sir?
Yes, sir, I sure am.
All right, Chris, let's talk about your saber here. First up, what I love about it, it's got a sharp edge. Every swing I do cuts. The one thing here is that you did pick up a little bit of a bend right here at this junction. It's warped a little bit. But it pierces and cuts, and most importantly, it will kill.
Thank you, sir.
All right, bladesmiths, for our strength test, I'm gonna take your sabers and I'm going to beat them and stab them into these field obstacles. Now, I'm not really concerned about what your swords do to our obstacles. I want to see the opposite, what they do to your swords. John, you're up first. You ready to go? Ready to go. Nice job, John. I like the blade. The sword itself overall is on the heavy side. The handle is a lot there, a lot of extra weight. It does help counterbalance quite a bit, though. Still got a good edge on it. There's some pretty heavy strikes on there, and the blade bent but came back to true. It's all right, tight, and straight. Good job.
Thank you.
How you feeling, Chris?
Good as I can be, sir.
All right. That right here.
Oh.
No cuts, no blood.
Lucky day.
Chris, your blade has suffered a catastrophic failure in our strength test, and unfortunately, you cannot continue with testing, which means you cannot be the Forged Fire Champion. Please exit the forge. Come on forward, pal.
I did have a small issue when it got to my heat treat.
That's all right, man.
I didn't want to risk a second quench because I didn't want to make it overly brittle. I do have some regret about that decision at this point. Of course, I would have liked to be the Forged and Fire Champion, but I am really proud of myself as a weapons maker, and I plan on getting right back in my forge when I get home, and I'm gonna move forward as ever.
Well, John, General Patton was known for being a tough guy, and you made a tough and sharp sword that really honors his name. Congratulations, you are the Forged and Fire Champion, and that's a title that comes with a check for $10,000. Good job.
Thank you. Thank you.
How do you feel right now?
Oh, yeah!
All right, man, come on over and shake our hands. Good job, brother. It's a beautiful sword.
Yeah! I'm the new Forged and Fire Champion.
You did a phenomenal job on that heat treat.
Thank you, sir. I'm proud of what I did, and it's been a fun deal. Hey, can I get a Forged and Fire belt buckle now? No belt buckle. Come on.